Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hi everyone, today we have with us Mr. Nikhil Kochhar. He is currently working as a manager with EY Germany in the audit department. He is a CA and has completed his bachelor's in commerce from SD College Chandigarh. He has 7 years of experience and for the last 3 years he has been a part of EY Germany. He has also worked with Barclays Shared Service Center as a financial analyst for a brief period of time. On behalf of Vskills, I welcome you to the interview series, sir, and I hope we'll have good time together.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anandita. Thank you for having me. I think it's a great opportunity for me and I look forward to it. And I hope I can pass on some good messages to the upcoming professionals and help them in their profession for sure.
So we all are aware how much patience and consistency plus hard work it requires to qualify as a CA. So my first question to you is, what was your mantra while preparing for CA exams?
I think mantra was always clear to be focused, right? And to keep my head straight towards achieving the milestone and title of a chartered accountant. I think that was what I was looking up to. But I think there is one word which needs to be kept throughout the journey of your any professional qualification, irrespective of a chartered accountant. I would say that towards that I always kept was a self-motivation. I think which is very important because in journal life it's easy to motivate others, but it's difficult to motivate yourself. I would say it's definitely a personal choice. And most of the people, like most of the candidates, such as me as well, because we have to go an articleship, which is a training that we have to do during a tenure of becoming a chartered accountant. In my period, it was 3.5 years. Now, currently, it's 3 years from a long time now. But I think most of the people decide during the part of their studies or their articleship that what is their field of interest and what they want to proceed further with. I think whether you are a practicing chartered accountant or whether you are a professional chartered accountant working in an organization, both have their own challenges and objectives. And the field of interest is one thing which is really important to that where do you want to focus. And I think it is also very important decision while which organization that you're working with. So if you're working with the firm of chartered accountants, right, or you're working with the Big Four, for example, or any other organization. So I think that's the objective overall, and that's how the differences are. Of course, the value of the signature of we say that of a chartered accountant, as our Prime Minister also quoted recently on the Chartered Accountant Day, which was just passed on 1st of July, that the value of a signature of a chartered accountant is even more valuable. So I stand to that. And then while you're a practicing chartered accountant, of course you get that. And I think whether you are a chartered accountant in a practicing one or a chartered accountant in the corporate world, it matters how you're contributing. And I think for every chartered accountant, the objective is to contribute towards the better economic conditions for our country, where no matter what, whether you're practicing or whether you are dealing with an organization.
So as you already quoted that there are different fields of study. So what motivated you to choose financial auditing as your career?
Right. As you started in my introduction, there I started working as a financial analyst, right, initially in Barclays, right? So I think right from my schooling, I was mostly interested in accounting. That was my base to choose chartered accountancy as my professional qualification. And during my bachelor's of commerce and my professional qualification of a chartered accountant, I developed interest in two areas majorly. One was accounting, the other one was auditing. That's where I started, right? And I always wanted to be more focused and more knowledgeable about these two areas going forward. So I think for me, it was during the course of my study that I decided that I want to focus on these subjects. And I think I tend to have both now because I started as a financial analyst and now I'm working as an auditor from last 6 years. So I am working on my both fields and I really like it. I think as a chartered accountant, what I've seen, and not just being a practicing chartered accountant, or whether you're working as a chartered accountant, it's very important that you're updated about all the changes and development which is happening around in the accounting and auditing field. or the industries that you're working with, right? Depending upon your nature of client. And now we are moving towards from a traditional audit approach to a digitalized audit throughout, right? It's more on digitalization now, and young professionals can be a great contribution to that, right? And also it depends upon the which gap, I mean the generally accepted accounting principles that are applicable to your clients. So whether you're working for international clients, so IFRS, which is International Financial Reporting Standards, if you're working for Indian clients, for example, US clients where we have United States GAAP as well, which is US GAAP. So I think that will be the main driven area for delivering a quality audit for any professional. I would say because I have a mix of experience working for the global division that I started my journey with as an auditor, and then I worked for some part of India practice as well, right? So I also audited Indian clients, and now I am part of Germany team. So I am auditing international clients as well. I would say that the overall structure and the responsibility is the same for sure, right? I definitely agree that it changes the as per the local rules and the regulations, right? For which country you are responsible or which gap, as I explained earlier before, of IFRS or US gap. I think firstly, it's very important to understand that there are two types of things that we are talking about when we are moving outside India. So one is definitely that you're having a license, right? That means that you're a practicing, that you want to practice as we do in India, right? That there is a practicing chartered accountant and there is another who is working in the corporate world, right? Or any other organization. So there are two things. So as I moved from one organization that I was working to another, right, over here in Germany. So the license is not required for sure, right? But if I'm doing a practice, right? So every country has their own rules, but definitely clearing the Indian Chartered Accountancy gives you an edge to pursue further. So there is some additional requirements depending upon the countries, right? Even in Germany, a German CPA is licensed, or a tax advisor exam that they do is authorized to sign on the financials that we issue for our clients, right? Similarly, if you go to Canada, there is CPA, which is required to do that, right? But of course, it's not that you need to start from the base again when you move outside India. It's just that when you have to get a license, you need to appear from some additional exams, right? And if I talk about any other professional qualification that you want to pursue even after chartered accountancy, for example, ACCA, right? In ACCA, there is a total of 13 exams, right? Which is an associate of certified chartered accountants, basically, which is also a part of this auditing and accounting field. And it's mostly required in many big organizations that you prefer. So there are total 13 exams. But if I'm a chartered accountant, I am actually exempted from 9 exams. So I just have to give 4 exams additional. So obviously, this any professional course that you do, irrespective of chartered accountancy or others, it gives you an edge and a plus point in pursuing any other professional course or going forward or working outside India.
So since we all have experienced a phase of pandemic, how difficult was it to handle clients and manage account during the pandemic, and how things have changed in the post-pandemic scenario?
Right. I would say, yeah, even as an auditor, I am also very uh, interested in having face-to-face conversations, right, rather than on the virtual world, right? But the situation was quite challenging for everyone, not just the auditors, I think for the client as well, because nobody was going to office, right? And it was definitely a challenging and a different environment. But I think in this phase, we also learned that how virtual world is so important. And there are a number of tools and other things which were developed during this phase, which are actually useful now as well, right? For example, we had some additional tools for sharing purpose, for having those meetings and additional, which we developed during this phase. So I think this altogether led to a different development. So I know always not only see the negative part of the pandemic, from a working standpoint of view, I also see the positive part. I think, first of all, in spite of the skill, right, it's firstly the area of interest that they need to focus on, right? Skills, I think, of course, when you're pursuing a professional qualification, there are certain requirements from the standpoint of the studies, right? So there are most of the professional courses which might start after your schooling. That means after your 12th standard and after your bachelor's degree as well, right? But the utmost and the most important thing is that what is your area of interest and which is the area that you need to be focused and be more knowledgeable about it, right? And now they want to pursue their main structure or main target of doing something in auditing. There are various courses available, right? Not just from the standpoint of view of you can do a specialization as well. There are a lot of courses on the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, for sure, in terms of specialization in certain IFRS or Indian standards as well that you can do, or auditing standards, right? So I think every institute has their own page and you can focus on that. So I would say that's always better as a professional that you are aware and what is your focus area. I think, as I said, right, there are various qualifications available for sure, which is a chartered accountancy, ACCA, CPA for sure. Even anyone can have this certified courses, right? And I would definitely guide to the upcoming professionals to have a focus area of digitalization. That is very important. And nowadays we have a lot of courses in that. So mostly people and various organizations that are working on a global level are focusing towards the data-driven audit. As I said, that traditional audit is now a past story for sure, and digitalized audit is the new one which is coming into picture along with the traditional procedures that we used to do. So I think that is one focus area where they have to focus on. Yeah, I would say there cannot be just one quote, right? I live by multiple quotes for sure. I think the one that I always tend when I was preparing for my professional course was to work hard and success will follow for sure. That was the first one that I always looked up to. The other one is like we must find positivity in the bleakest situation in life, right? And always live by the principle of gratitude. So I personally believe, and I've seen that in life, and I've practiced that in life, that you always respect and acknowledge people who have given a huge contribution right from your journey, starting of your journey, and where you are today. So I always acknowledge my teachers, not just in my college but my school, because there was which the base was made, right? And then my college or my exams that I appeared for my chartered accountancy, and post my qualification, even my mentors, right? So that gratitude is very important.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Yeah, no, I think it was a great opportunity for me. At the end, I would just say that it is very important for any professional who will be looking up to this that they are updated and informed about the changes happening in their own environment. And then they need to be, because it will be keeping themselves one step ahead, and they need to be motivated and focused in life, right? For sure. That will be my ultimate message. And I hope they achieve great things in life. So all the best to all the professionals who will be watching it. And thank you so much, Nandita, to you and your team for giving me this opportunity. It was a
Thank you
pleasure.
so much, sir.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.